Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm joined here by Agathe, who worked with us for a little while and has healed her Crohn's. So I'm very excited that you've
I'm very
come
excited to be here.
come and join me here to do a bit of a question and answer. So we both asked you guys on Instagram to ask us some questions that you may have about Crohn's or colitis, and a lot of you guys did. So we're really excited to answer some of these questions, and we're going to start here with one of the questions you had, Agathe. And who's asked you this question?
I don't actually know how to pronounce that. It's SMGM.
007.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they asked, how is your digestion now? And my digestion is great. It's never been better, even before I had Crohn's. It's a lot more predictable. It doesn't really hurt at all. And yeah, I know when I'm gonna go to the toilet, and but in a good way, you know. It's really good. It's really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right. Well, obviously, by changing your diet and the increase in fiber and the change that happens with the gut bacteria and all of those things combine to improve your digestion. And
yeah, it's all connected, because also your mental health is affected by the kind of gut bacteria you have in your digestive system.
Yeah, and that played a big role in your story, which I'm sure you're going to talk about as we go through them.
Actually, the next question from Georgos.
Yeah.
He asked, what about emotional pain? So during the healing phase, when you're healing Crohn's disease, you're not only healing Crohn's disease, you're healing your whole body, because you can't heal one thing without healing the rest. And so you go through this elimination diet, and at first it's quite quite a big deal, because you're removing so many things from your life, and it's a completely different lifestyle, and it kind of pushes you to face a lot of things that you would kind of put aside. And so, to be honest, I did go through a lot of weird emotional phases where I would cry all the time, and a lot of things from the past came back, and it was hard, but then you come out a lot more stronger and more confident in yourself, if you know what I mean.
Yep,
yeah,
definitely. I mean, it does test you in many different ways, and so many of our clients feel like they're different people by the end of it.
Yeah,
you've gone through so many different questions and emotional upheaval in a way. Self-reflected on so many different things and perceptions that you've had about life itself. Even for a lot of people, I think it really does.
You become a lot more confident. And when you go through it, it's pretty intense, like when you're right in the middle of it, and it's very easy to fall into like a dark hole where you can't see the end of this pain, and it can be very scary, but you just have to remind yourself that it's temporary. It will pass, and that you're the only one who can get yourself out of it,
Yeah, I mean, you got yourself into it, and
now
it's time to get yourself out of it. I mean, that's the beauty and the power of self-healing. You know your body heals itself, and that's probably the most empowering thing from my point of view.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He also asked, is ulcerative colitis easier to heal than Crohn's? And I think you're better equipped to answer that question.
Oh, there's so many. I don't think there's really a black and white answer to this. I think they're both very similar, but also a little bit different in that we find that people who have Crohn's, they have less bowel motions and less bleeding and less diarrhea, but then they get more pain in the gut.
And bloating.
Yeah. So it all depends really on how long you've been sick for, how long you've been taking certain medications, whether you've been taking immunosuppressive medications, because those are some of the worst things that you can put in your body. And really, unless you have no other option, you really try and avoid those at all costs. So if I was to give you like an answer based on my experience, I'd probably say maybe Crohn's is a little bit easier, but
I don't know.
It really depends, like
the symptoms are very different.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it was mostly pain, and mental health, because
Yeah.
it's just so connected. And when
Yeah.
something hurts, it affects your mood so much.
Mm.
And I think it's also so easy to compare yourself to other people that don't have the
It's
same experience as you. Like, I would compare myself to people with colitis, and I
mm.
would see that their like detox symptoms and their healing journey was so different than mine, and I thought I must be doing something wrong. But
Mm.
everyone is so different. So I don't know, it might be easier for someone with
Yeah.
colitis, or it might be easier with someone with Crohn's.
And
It depends.
I've had people that have healed within a month, and I've had people that have healed, after 6 months.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a year.
Exactly. So, like, there's no quick fix, and I don't think people understand this. I know our program lasts for 6 months, and a lot of people think that, okay, after 6 months I'm going to be healed and things like that. And most people are, but you still
It's a
got to,
process.
you've got to realize that, even after the 6 months, like I tell people, the 6 months is just you're building the base
Yeah.
to your health. You still got to build on that and keep going if you want to be healed long term, and that's what obviously Agathe
it's
has
amazing. It's not scary. It's
No.
an amazing journey, and
Yeah.
I'm so happy about it.
Great.
He also asked, what about CBD oil? Because you hear a lot of people in media that talk about CBD oil, and how it's so amazing.
CBD oil, I think you wanted me to talk about this.
Yeah.
CBD oil is another way to mask your symptoms. You have to be aware, guys, and I think this is really important for me to try and get this across, and Agathe's learnt this, through a healing journey. The only thing that can heal is the body itself. The body is self-healing. We can't rely on external things to help us heal. All we've got to do is make sure we give it the right conditions. Now, if something is going to relieve your symptoms, that means there is some level of toxicity to that substance. And anything that causes us to increase the level of toxicity in our body is not going to be good for us long term. Now, we were just discussing it before the video, like, if you find yourself in a really tough spot, or you're having lots and lots of pain and things like that, and
it might be good in the short term,
maybe for a short period of time, but
sometimes maybe a bit necessary if you're really, really in a really bad situation.
Possibly. But it's not something that needs to be really relied on, because you need to get your body in a state where it's healthy.
And you do that through lifestyle.
Exactly. And none of these remedies, magic pills, potions, supplements, they're not going to help. Even things like probiotics, they don't help in the long run. You have to focus on building the bacteria in your body naturally through the prebiotics from the fiber you eat, and allowing the bacterial symbiosis to happen naturally. Don't try and force anything. Don't try and rush things. Take your time and allow the body to heal and recover in a slow and, I guess, natural way. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. And then I had a few questions about periods. So Usmikins, I'm gonna stop with the names because I just can't. She asked, do you still get periods? Yes, I do, but during the healing phase, I lost quite a bit of weight, a lot of toxic waste, and I did not have my period consistently. Sometimes, some months I had them, sometimes I didn't. But in the last few months, since I've been in a much better place, digestion-wise and health-wise, I've had them, like, very, consistently. And then the other questions about period is, did you get flare-ups when your periods are in the way? Yeah, I would usually, I don't know, that probably something with hormones that affected it. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I did have more digestive discomfort when I knew they were coming. But then it gets, once you're healed, it doesn't affect you as much. No.
Yeah, so the monthly cycle for a woman is one of the ways the body detoxes. Okay, it removes certain things, and so you find that people have a more unhealthy diet, they get more pain and a heavier flow and things like that. And so yes, you can see that when the body's going through that cycle, and the body heals in waves. So obviously the body builds up a lot of energy during that phase before you go through your cycle, and obviously that's why you can, and it's very common actually. It's not like just you or a couple of people. When you get that, the monthly cycle, or whenever that comes for some people, you do get an increase in symptoms.
Yeah.
Okay. Important thing to be aware of is that yes, when you lose that weight, you can lose your period for a short period of time. But if you're concerned about it, go and make sure you're still ovulating. And if you're doing things right, if you're eating enough food, if you're living a healthy enough lifestyle, even if you've lost your period for a short period of time, you will still ovulate, which means that's okay. And a lot of the time, I think that the period that most people have in today's world is too heavy. Actually, it's too laborsome, it's too painful, and it shouldn't be like that. Your body shouldn't.
Like now my period is super light,
Mm.
and maybe the first day is uncomfortable, but then I don't know. It first of all, it's not as long as it used to be, and it's definitely not as painful as it used to be.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's painful for one day, and then I kind of forget about it. To be honest, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I have a question about it's not Crohn's related, but it's more about bloating and what to do, because there's so much information about what to not be eating, what to be eating. A lot of talk about gluten. What would you recommend?
If you're bloating, there's something going on. It could be a few things. You're not drinking enough water. That can definitely help relieve some bloating, because when you drink water before you eat, especially, that can help. If anything's stuck in your digestive system or digestive tract around the esophagus, it can remove that, and then so you don't get contact between different types of food. But also just being hydrated can help with the digestive process, which means there's less fermentation and less gas. So drinking more water before you eat is probably the first thing I'll tell anybody to do. If you're trying to heal from IBD and you need a massive change, or even if you don't, and you're having a big change in your gut microbiome,
fruit.
Yeah, when you have that big change, you're gonna get some bloating.
At the beginning.
Yeah,
because your body reacts to it. So when you're gonna start eating more healthy and more fiber, at the beginning you're gonna have some discomfort, but that's a sign that something's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people, they give up because they try it and they're like, oh, actually I bloat even more than I did before.
Correct.
But if you want to have that that long-term health, then you have to go through the discomfort first, and you have to start eating more fibrous foods such as fruit.
Yeah, and the only way to build that population of good bacteria long term is to consistently eat a significant amount of fiber, because that's what the good bacteria feed on. And if you're not doing that, you are, and there's so many studies that show this, I'll probably put one up on the screen now, but if you're not eating enough fiber, or you're eating a high meat diet or high fat diet, the microbiome that you're fostering in your gut is the wrong type of bacteria. And so you want to be eating enough fiber to feed the good bacteria so that they can produce the short chain fatty acids like butyrate, and that's how you're going to build that. But obviously, if you've got the wrong type of symbiosis in your gut bacteria, there needs to be a shift. Like the bad bacteria need to die out, and the good bacteria need to repopulate the gut.
Yeah. I think that's all the main questions that I received. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what was the most difficult thing about vegan healing diet?
Oh yeah.
You need to have support, and I started the healing diet when, and I didn't have that much support. I wasn't working with high carb health, and also I was in a completely different country from everyone in my life, and just doing it on your own and having all these thoughts and being so confused and feeling pain, that was difficult. So, but then you can change that by making sure that you're surrounded with people that love you and that know what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things is that all this advice that we're giving is just generalized. So if you want some personalized advice, then you need to talk to someone who knows a little bit about what to do, who's got yeah, of course you were going to say that. But whether it's us or whether it's someone else, someone who has gotten the results that you want, that has been able to successfully help people and achieve this kind of long-term results. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a few questions as well from a few of our followers. So let's see if we can get into some of those. Okay, so the first one is from Jay Syed. Hello, Joe Bayer. How are you? And I think this is especially good for Agathe because she had a huge kind of work on as part of her healing was how did you calm down stress, or did you have stress? It's just a mental health kind of thing, isn't it?
I definitely had stress, and it's so hard because you get caught up in that vicious cycle where you stress about your digestion, and then your digestion is affected by it, and then when your digestion is not working, then it stresses you even more. It's it's difficult because the healing, going through healing is so unpredictable, and so sometimes your mood will change in 2 seconds. But for me, it was I didn't really meditate like that consistently, but I would try and be in a meditative state more often. So try and not feed all the negative thoughts that were going through my mind, and just being more present and realizing that it's temporary, and you have to surrender to this pain, or that is happening within you, because you can't really do anything about it. That's the way it is, so just accept it. And also I would practice gratitude. So I remember when I was working with them, they would ask me to send them a list of all the things I was grateful for every morning. And that is really good. It puts you in a really good state of mind. And then just going for walks, because I was also quite tired, so I didn't really exercise, and I used to exercise a lot. I loved it, and I didn't do it anymore. So going for walks is really good, and then just being with people that love you, that are going to put your mind off all this stuff that you're going through. But yeah, that's what I did.
And yeah, it's just
yoga.
About yoga. It's just about self-reflection and realizing, is it worth it? Is it worth being mean to yourself? Because that's all we're doing when we're stressed. No one else is making you angry. No one else is making you upset. No one else is worrying about things for you. You are doing it to yourself in a way. And I think if we all learn that, you ask yourself, am I being kind to myself right now? And the answer is probably no. And if you just change it and say, okay, well, how can I be more kind to myself in the way that I think about myself and other situations around me? It just changes. You just change your perception on all sorts of different things. Joe Bayer has another question. How did you overcome cravings?
I think it's time. Time does it all. I remember at the beginning, I would see, my friends, my family, or just, going to restaurants, seeing restaurant menus. I had just moved to Melbourne, and I wanted to try all the new foods there, all the restaurants, and yeah, I couldn't really, because I was healing. And so that was really frustrating, but I was so focused on getting my health back that it wasn't, that much of a big deal. Like, now that I look back, and with time, you stop having all these cravings about, junk food, because you just realize that you feel so much better when you eat healthy. And yeah, I don't really see junk food as food anymore. It doesn't appeal to me as much. Yeah, like really like greasy, spicy food. I'm not attracted to it anymore. Yeah.
It's not food.
I don't really see it as food.
It's not food. How many times? Foods.
All these chemicals and additives. That is unnecessary, and it's just gonna worsen your health. And I don't know. I'm just not attracted to it anymore.
I think you get a change when you feel better.
Yeah.
Okay, when you've eaten a particular way and you've healed yourself and you feel better, your body craves healthy things. And if you eat something unhealthy, like the thought of it's generally better than the event. The actual thought, oh, I can go out and eat at that restaurant, but it always disappoints you compared to how a healthy meal will make you feel afterwards.
Yeah.
You'll always be like, was it really worth it? But the anticipation would be so like overwhelming that you kind of like get drawn into that. But then after the fact, you're like, oh, that wasn't really worth it. And now I feel, I feel like there's pain or there's discomfort and gas or whatever.
I mean,
so,
treating yourself maybe like, you know, once a month or something. You know, like might as well. But if you're healing, if you're, you know, you want to change your health, then, you know, it's hard at the beginning, but it's, you know, it's so worth it. You know, I haven't eaten out in a restaurant in like a year now. And that's because I've been, you know, really focused on working on my health, and it's been really worth it, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
So I call it a sanity check.
Your taste buds change as well. Like I eat boiled vegetables and it's so good.
I call it a sanity check, you know, and on the odd occasion you go and just do something where you wouldn't normally eat that, but 99% of the time, if you do the right things, you'll have good health.
It's all about consistency.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. We have got a message here from Jane's Wellness. I can't read the rest of your handle. But Jane's Wellness asks, what do you think has been the most pivotal part of your healing journey?
So we were talking about that, and I think it's when I went traveling, and I realized that, you know, I'd been in this, you know, comfort zone for so many months doing the healing diet, and I was kind of losing hope because I couldn't really see the progress, and then I had to. So I went on this trip, and I was completely thrown out of this comfort zone, and it was really scary because I had my routine, and I was you know, comfortable, and then I was, you know, traveling and walking and visiting, and I realized I could do so much more than I thought I could, and I was still okay. And I think this change in mindset really helped me for, you know, the months that came after that, where I realized that you don't have to stress that much about everything, you know, and I don't know, it was really that mindset shift. I can do a lot more than I thought I could do. I'm able. I'm not disabled, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And the final question we've got here is from Mango Salad 2, and the question is, what were your major detox symptoms and how did they last? Or how long did they last?
I had a lot of fatigue. I remember being anemic at the beginning, just after being diagnosed. So I would I would get up my chair and feel really dizzy and have to sit back down. And then obviously I get so much stomach pain, not stomach, just, you know, intestines pain, bloating, gas. I had so much constipation, and then after like 5 days of constipation, I would have this day or 2 days of like diarrhea, and then it would get back to normal again, and then it was constipation again, diarrhea, and it was and then also, you know, mental health. I was very unhappy, stressed out, anxious. So yeah, these were my main detox symptoms, and losing hair as well. And well, I guess it lasted quite a long time. You know, it depends. Everyone's journey is different. For me, it was a lot more slow and steady. For some people, I know it was, you know, 2 months and they were like glued to the toilet, and then banged it out, and then they were like getting better. For me, it was very slow. That's why I think it was very hard on mental health, because I couldn't see the progress. I did see the progress, but it was taking so much, you know, so much time. But you know, now I'm here, and now I see all the progress that's happened, and yeah, I don't feel pain. I feel amazing. Get up and feeling amazing. I started exercising again, which is so cool. And I've been able to travel so much during the year, which I think is amazing, because for some people, they go through a detox that's so intense that they have to be in bed all the time. I felt quite tired, but most of the time I was kind of like okay, and I managed to travel.
Oh, you did study as well.
I did study as well, yeah.
Actually, you mentioned something quite interesting. I get this question a lot, especially from women, about the hair loss. Okay, now it's quite common, and I'll try to like explain to people that yes, it is quite common, but it will grow back. What's your experience of it?
I've experienced hair loss for quite a while now, for probably like few years, like 4 years or something.
Mm.
And it is annoying, and you know, I still lose a bit of hair now because I think my body is still building on itself. I'm still on this journey. But yeah, it is quite daunting and stressful, especially when everywhere you go you see like hair. And in the shower. But I don't know, I feel like my hair is growing. I I feel happy with it, and I trust that it's going to be even healthier. That's trust and belief.
Yeah, so the main experience that we have with a lot of our clients is that the hair does fall out, and the reason for that is damaging the hair follicles. Okay, so your hair follicles are damaged, and they need to be replaced, just like all the other damaged cells in your body, and so the body will repair those damaged follicles. But part of that process of removing that damaged hair follicle is that the hair needs to fall out.
Yeah,
and then grow again.
And I feel like my hair is getting better.
Yeah, and it doesn't all go.
Yeah.
You know, and it grows back with better quality hair as you kind of get healthier and healthier.
Yeah.
Yeah.